ahead and come over here to my document on the setup objectives, and then I'm going to follow all these step by step. First things first, I always want to collect the person's contact information, name, phone number, and email, if that's not been done already, and I'll show you exactly how to set those up. If this has been done, then we can set up the ChatBot within CloseBot to skip this step and go on to objective or priority number 2. So we'll go ahead and click on this guy right here, and I'm just going to click on name. I don't change any of this. I leave it exactly as it is. I'll go ahead and click on close. Okay, so now I have the name. The attempts, you can change this. I'm going to go ahead and set the attempts at, let's say 2, because if they really don't want to give you their name, they're not going to, but I would still have the rest of their information, okay? I'll go ahead and click on the next one, and then I will click on phone number, and we'll do max attempts here. We'll do 2. Now, you're really not going to need this. Common sense tells us that because the person's texting in. But if you're using this for like a website or something else, and you're not using a contact collection form within that website widget, depending on exactly how it's set up, then you would want to get their phone number. Next thing we'll go ahead and do is collect their email. So we have name, phone number, and email now. I'll go ahead and do max attempts. I'll do 2. Not the most important thing in the world. Email used to be, a lot more important. It's still used. Email marketing is still used, still very successful. But SMS marketing is like a 95% or more open rate. So I would rather have their name and phone number if I only had the option to get name and one other thing. So I'll go ahead and save this. And then now I'm going to go ahead and move on to objective number 2. So you'll notice if we click back into these, we have 2 types of things that we can do with the chatbot. I can gather information or give information. Everything in gather is purple. When I go into give info, which I'll do later towards the end of the objectives, that is giving information. Okay, I'm not going to ever change the sensitivity. I've talked to CloseBot people that actually work with the company. They've said to leave this at 50. I don't want to change this. If I come in here and I'm changing this to 75 or 100, that means it's kind of becoming all or nothing. It becomes very black and white or like binary, where I'm going to stick with this absolutely, or I'm never going to let them pass until, like, I want to make sure that this is 50%. I want it to be as natural as possible. It's going to attempt it twice. If it can't do it, no big deal. It moves on to the next thing. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that all of these are checked. Skip. Skip. So this is already filled out. Let's say they came in from Facebook. We already have their name, phone number, and email. Awesome. Just make sure all these are done. It's going to skip onto the next objective, just like I talked about. Okay, the next thing I want to set up, so objective, short description, discover if @lead name has any questions or if they're just looking to schedule. If they're ready to schedule, move on to the next objective. So I'll go ahead and put this in here. This is the short description. So objective number 1 in my chatbot, I'll go ahead and click on this guy. And I'm going to put the short description here.